Hey guys, Moto Viking 82 here, continuing on with my CD collection. And finally, we are getting into the parts that I've been waiting to get to. I do have a little bit more as far as like metalcore and stuff. I still got another video I'm going to do for that, but it kind of leads right into the death metal and the deathcore and all that. So really happy to be on to this part of my collection because, as I've said before, black and death metal are pretty much my favorite genres anymore. I enjoy pretty much all metal, though there's just ones that I prefer more. I listen mostly to death metal and black metal, though I do enjoy, as you can tell by some of my other parts, traditional power metal, though I don't seek those out as much as I do death and black metal. So, yeah, gonna get started. This first one is a promo that I got for free with Savard Records order. And I put it in this little case I have. This is, you can't even really hardly tell what it is. This is Acts of Suffering promo 2014. Haven't really heard too much about this band since, so who knows what's going on with that. Then we have Cadaver Inc. with Discipline. This is essentially Cadaver. They changed their name to Cadaver Inc. Only released this one album, and then I think they changed it back to Cadaver, and then they eventually just split up, so... Then moving on, we have Bleeding Through, This Is Love, This Is Murderous. And I also have their album, Portrait of the Goddess. It's kind of in my CD player right now. I'm too damn lazy to go over and get it. Then we have The Truth. And this is a little slip cover that's kind of hard to get off sometimes. But really good album. Very first one that I ever bought from them. And then we have Declaration. And this is self-titled. Little slipcase there. And then their last one, The Great Fire. 2-disc edition. And I did not realize until I started getting their stuff ready to show. I was looking stuff up just to kind of see what all I still needed from them. Did not realize that they had broke up. So yeah, pretty sad to see them go. Then we have Serpens Aeon, Dawn of Coatl. This is done by a former member of the Chasm. And I remember I ordered this directly from him, and he even sent me a little note, signed note saying, thanking me for picking this up. Haven't heard anything from this band since, though. I don't know if they're broke up or what the deal is. We have Torture Killer, Swarm, Catastrophic with The Cleansing, Grimfist, Ghouls of Grandeur. Only album I own from them, and I don't know. It's pretty good, but I haven't listened to too much of it since. But I remember it being pretty good, and it has the main reason I picked it up is because it has Horg from Immortal, or I don't know if you want to call it Immortal anymore. I know a lot of people don't, but yeah, it has Horg on drums. Then we have Bludgeon with Crucify the Priest, Cadaver, In Pains. I know they have one other release. But I haven't been able to track it down yet. This and that one, I guess, are pretty much hard to get because they're out of print. We have Rib Spreader, Bolted to the Cross. Kind of a dark cover there, sorry. DSRA, The Sin War. Thargos, Kill Fuck. Yeah, pretty interesting name, isn't it? Had to make sure that was actually the name. Creep Mine, Shadows. And next few we have our Cenotaph with Riding Our Black Oceans. Epic Rites. And The Gloomy Reflections of Our Hidden Sorrows. Now this band, nobody ever mentions them. And that's probably because they have kind of a silly name. But this features Ronnie Burgerstall on I think that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, he's on Grave now. He's the drummer for Grave now, I do believe, and he was also in Cenotaph and a couple other bands. I used to chat with him on MSN Messenger back in a long time ago. Also on a forum that me and him both posted at, and I always called him a band whore because he is in like a million fucking bands all the time. But this is Julie Laughs No More When Only Darkness Remains, and From the Mist of the Ruins. And from what I remember, because I haven't listened to these in years, is they were pretty good, kind of like a melodic death metal. Then we have Possessed, Seven Churches, and the Gates, or excuse me, Beyond the Gates, with the Eyes of Horror EP tacked on. This is Afflicted, Prodigal Son. And frankly, this is the only album I really care for from this band. I don't know if I've heard a couple of their other ones are pretty good. Mortification, Scrolls of the Megaloth. Really love that album cover, and they do have a pretty interesting logo. I will give them that. But overall, not super huge on that band. Now this one, more people should listen to. It's a very interesting listen, and I've always enjoyed everything Dan Swano has done, pretty much. Yeah, his Witherscape project that he's got going now is just amazing. But this is his solo album, Moon Tower. Love this album. If you've never heard anything from this, check out the song Uncreation. Probably my favorite track. And then we've got Edge of Sanity with Nothing But Death Remains. Purgatory Afterglow. Crimson. And Crimson 2. Out of the two Crimsons, I don't know which one I prefer the most, though. They're both pretty good in my opinion. Resurrection, Embalmed Existence, another great death metal album, and it has some kind of narrated tracks, kind of throughout. There's a kind of narrator that, I shit you not, sounds like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. It really adds to this album, though. It's a great album. You should definitely check that out. Another solid kind of brutal death, gory, I don't know how to really describe it. Just fucking awesome is probably the best way to describe it. But Lord Gore, the Autophagus Orgy, and Resickened. Great stuff. Just check out the song Liquid Lunch. Awesome song. And this guy has got some of the most inhuman vocals I have ever heard. And from what I've been told, and it even says so on the CD, there were no effects used on any of his vocals. That's all him making those noises. And don't know how he does it, but he's just fucking amazing. He's sick as hell. And next is a band that, they really need to go back and reissue these because I'm missing their last album, and I guess they've kind of recently reformed and are doing some touring. I don't really know. I've been kind of hearing mixed things. But if you love your brutal death metal, you got to know about Brodequin, I don't know how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. This is Instruments of Torture, and my introduction to the band, Festival of Death. Ultra low guttural vocals, fast as hell drumming. This is just like some of the best brutal death metal that there is, in my opinion. These next two I remember ordering directly from the band, and they are split up, and I think this is all they've ever put out. Forever Shadows, Not Dead Enough, and They're Talking to Me Again. We have Het's Heads, We Hail the Possessed. This is Funebre, Children of the Scorn, reissue, and if I remember right, they actually had a different cover. It has like two different covers, like a reissue cover and then the original cover. I had to display the original cover because I think it looks better. We have Winter, Into Darkness, really good Doom Death album, classic stuff. Another really awesome Doom Death band. I was really glad they put this out, though. I kind of wish they had just reissued the album separately, but this is great to have as well. Ceremonium with Dreams We Have Written. Basically has both of their albums and I think some bonus stuff thrown in. Really awesome Doom Death band. They just, just check these guys out. If you love Doom Death, you got to hear Ceremonium. There's just no getting around it. All right. Moving on to another classic band here that technically they're not split up because they still do shows and stuff like that, but they have not released any studio material in a long time, and they pretty much are not going to until they feel that they can come up with something that's just killer. And I can't say I blame them, because I'd rather a band, if they don't feel the material is good enough, instead of releasing a shitty album, just go ahead and if you want to call it quits, go ahead. Or if you just want to take a hiatus, do so, because I'd rather have you take your time and release a killer album than to just throw out some really generic shit. But I'm talking about Bolt Thrower. And this one here is pretty much a live bootleg that I found. It's called Where Next to Conquer. And it's kind of funny because I actually, when I'm at work, I use that phrase quite a lot. I'll get done with doing something like, all right, where next to conquer? But yeah, I didn't really know that. But yeah, Bolt Thrower, where next to conquer. In battle, there is no law. Realm of chaos, slaves to darkness. War Master. The Fourth Crusade. Just recently picked this up on vinyl. Great album. As well as this one, For Victory. And this is actually a 2-disc edition of the album, which comes with a live CD entitled Live at War, recorded at Manchester 92. Really cool stuff. We have Who Dares Wins, Mercenary, and my introduction to the band, Honor, Valor, Pride. And I really do enjoy this album. Some people don't like it because of Dave Ingram, I believe is his name. Used to be in Benediction. He's the vocalist on this album, the only album he did with them. But I really enjoy this. I mean, the song Inside the Wire, great song, probably my favorite from the album. And their last release, Those Once Loyal, really good return for the vocalist Carl Willis. I love this album. And finally, Joe Bench gets her bass mixed in a little bit higher. So that was cool. But as I said, I really hated to see them go. Which, like I said, they're still technically around, but, until they release something new, they're technically gone, I guess. This is Withered Earth, Into the Deepest Wounds. Suffer with Global Warming. This is just a little 4-song EP. I got this for like $1 at the Half Price Books outlet store, and it's all right. I mean, it's nothing overly exciting. It's a split from Bestialit and Dehydrated. Bestialit's part is called Fuckland. Dehydrated is Burnt. Like I said, it's all right. It's nothing overly special, and I keep it just because I only paid $1 for it. This is A Breath Before Surfacing. Death is Swallowed in Victory. King Conquer, America's Most Haunted. As They Sleep, Dynasty. Nefarious, this is another one that I got for $1 with a Global Warning. Another really cool death metal EP. Exocet, Confusion. And the last band for this particular part, Gore Rotted, Only Tools and Corpses. And A New Dawn for the Dead. So yeah, that's going to do it for this part. Thanks a lot for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.